Well, hello there. I've been in British Spies, The True Grit by the Coen Brothers, as well as Charles Play 3. I played the judge in this movie, British Spies. I was in True Grit, and I played the general in Charles Play 3, where I told Andy Barclay we turned bedwetters into men. But enough about this and enough about this character. Let's let Tom Richardson review British Spies. So hey everybody, there was a judge in this movie, and I was just laughing to myself because I know he was in Child's Play 3 as the general guy, and I know he was in True Grit as this guy that made a trade with Haley Steinfeld at one point in that movie. And what's funny about both of those movies, specifically True Grit, um, the Coen brothers helped write the screenplay to Bridge of Spies, and Steven Spielberg directed it. And it was vice versa in True Grit, where Steven Spielberg produced that movie and the Coen brothers directed it. So I'm going to review Bridge of Spies for you today, guys. Sorry for that long mess just to tell you that I'm reviewing Bridge of Spies. So for this movie, guys, it's the new Steven Spielberg film, and it's really quite good. Um, in this movie, Tom Hanks plays an insurance lawyer, and he's asked to take on a case involving a Soviet spy that the U.S. has found. And while that's going on, there is a spy for the U.S. CIA who gets into the hands of the Soviet Union, and they basically hold him prisoner. And it becomes a situation where while the Soviet spies case is going on in the U.S., they also want that U.S. spy back, but the Soviet Union will not give that person back, or this other person you'll find out later when watching the movie, um, until we give them back their spy. So it becomes a cat and mouse game of, how are we going to get that spy back? How are we going to give them this spy? How can we trust them? How do we know that they're going to bring the spy? If they say just bring them, and then we'll give them to you once we see that you have our spy in your hands. So the movie becomes a cat and mouse game, like I said, of these people trying to negotiate all this. So overall, guys, I really like Bridge of Spies a lot. It's actually more fun than you would think it would be with that concept I just provided for you in the synopsis. But it really is quite good. Steven Spielberg's definitely still at the top of his game. He's still directing great movies. It's a well-written script by the Coen brothers. It has good pacing to the movie. There's the well-paced script. Everything feels like it's in place, like it should be. Just a really good movie. So for the positives and negatives of Bridge of Spies, I thought this film was approached the right way. I like how the Tom Hanks character who played this lawyer, um, like he had comedic elements to him. He has a really likable personality. He definitely is there to provide an even bigger voice for his clients. So basically, whatever their voice is for the case, he's going to provide an even bigger voice for them. I like how he completely sides with the client and really tries to figure out how to favor their situation. And just I really like how the Coen brothers and wrote the script. I like how Steven Spielberg directed the movie. They just approached everything the right way. They definitely tried to tell this story in the most interesting way possible, and it became a really good movie as a result. This movie is also brilliantly directed and written, like I'm going to say once again. Just really well directed, really well written. You really feel like you're in this Cold War time period. It just really well done. Tom Hanks also delivers an Oscar-worthy performance. He just really nails it here. Um, like I said, he nails the comedic moments, the dramatic moments. We really just root for his character the entire film. We like him since the very first frame that he's introduced in. Just a really good performance. So, Wake Up Film Academy, we do have an Oscar-worthy performance on our hands here. The supporting actor in the movie, I'm not really too familiar with him, so I'm not even going to really state his name. But he plays the Soviet spy that the U.S. catches on in the movie, and just a really good performance. You can definitely tell he has a little Coen brother humors things to his character. Like you can definitely tell he feels like he belongs in a Coen Brothers movie, just the way he reacts to things and things like that. But really good supporting role. I hope he gets Best Supporting Actor when the Oscars come up. I like how the film looks and feels tense. It just really, there's moments in the movie where you really don't know how Russia or how the U.S. or how the spy will handle, being in this prison. It just feels really tense throughout the whole movie, and it, really doesn't matter who it's focusing on because all these things feel tense. You know, the spy moments feel tense, the lawyer scenes feel tense, the negotiations and the trades, all these feel tense. So Spielberg once again does a really good job making everything feel tense in this movie. And I think I said this earlier, but the film really does depict the time period really well. This also takes place in Berlin at one point in the movie, and you see them putting the Berlin Wall up. Just really depicts it really well. It really shows, people's fear of nuclear power and fear of the Red Scare. The film does all of this really well. For my negatives of Bridge of Spies, it came mostly just from the fact that I'm a Spielberg fan and how I kind of like to approach his movies at this point in his career because he has tons of great films on his record. And it's safe to say, how does whatever his new film is compared to his earlier work. So when it came to Bridge of Spies, I felt it could have been more fun. I think films like Jurassic Park or E.T. or Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, or even Saving Private Ryan in a sense, were more fun movies. This movie, I can see myself coming back to it, but it's because it's not as fun as maybe those other Spielberg films. I think that's probably what's going to hurt it. Is just the fact that we have a Saving Private Ryan already. We have our Jurassic Park. We have our E.T. We have our Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So it's kind of hard to know where to put this because there's the Spielberg films where we really like them, and then after we watch them once, we probably won't watch them again. And then we have films like E.T. where we can watch them all the time, and they're well directed, they're well written, they're well acted. The humor or the action or the sci-fi elements all work perfectly in them. So Bridge of Spies is kind of an in between where it's entertaining enough where you're willing to watch it more times, but it's not on the same level as fun as Jurassic Park, where those many times are going to be as big in quantity as some of those other Spielberg films. So kind of a weird little criticism, but something I thought Bridge of Spies could have been, which was it could have been more fun. This is also not the best Spielberg film. Obviously, he's directed, other really good films. Once again, E.T., Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I'm repeating myself. But this is a really well done movie, regardless. I mean, I think this movie, I guess, compared to what he's done over the past few years, I would say probably better than War Horse and Tintin and oh, let's just say better than those two films for right now, just because he's made so many other movies. But yeah, this is a really well made movie. Like I said, though, it's not his absolute best movie he's ever worked on, but it's still a phenomenal movie. So I'm going to give Bridge of Spies a 9 out of 10. I think it is worth your time. Like I said, I could see myself seeing this again, maybe even a few more times, but it's just not on the same level as maybe like E.T. or Saving Private Ryan or Schindler's List is kind of a hard movie to watch again. But like I said, it's definitely a great notable Spielberg film with a great script by the Coen brothers. 9 out of 10 for me. Be sure to see Bridge of Spies. I highly recommend it.